Hey YouTube, it's Marita. Welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in today's edition, I just got a clinical today and I am here to do a video. I don't have no makeup on today, literally just at a clinical. I got home and I said, I got some energy. Let me get some videos done. What I wanted to talk about in this video is some things regarding the BSN program or how to advance in nursing, because there's so many people who are not understanding how it goes when you advance in nursing. So if you want to see what I mean by that, please stay tuned. I'm Dr. Marita P. I'm a registered nurse. Been a nurse for almost 17 years now. I'm an OB/GYN, well baby nursery nurse, as well as a nurse educator. I teach at HBCU and I'm doctorally prepared. And today, like I just said, I just came from clinical today. I did my OB rotation with some nursing students, with the LP and the RN nursing students. We do clinicals on the weekends. So I just was with them and I had some energy and I thought I would come in here and talk about a little bit about specializing in advanced practice, because some people don't understand how it works and what degree does what and so forth. Excuse me. So I want to go ahead and break that down to you in this video. Okay, so with that being said, first things first is if you're going to get your BSN, so I'm not going to talk about LPNs, I'm not going to talk about the 2-year RN, even though this applies to them too, but you can't get a master's degree without a bachelor's degree. So this video is not about the 2-year RN or the LPN. So we're going to talk specifically about the BSN prepared nurse. So for those of you who are in nursing school right now, you're trying to figure out what you want to do as a nurse. Okay, so when you graduate from nursing school, you are considered to be a nurse generalist, which means you have been educated on a little bit about everything. You have been to your ER rotations, your OR rotation, your OB, your peds, your med surg 1 and 2 if you have 1 or 2 or 3. Some schools have 3 med surg classes, some have 2. Community health, leadership, research. You've taken all these classes, okay? And so at the end of your program, you are going to be considered a nurse generalist. Now, when you get out there, depending on who you are and what you think you're interested in and what is hiring and what's willing to take new nurses and so forth, you may decide that I want to do med surg, or you may decide that I want to be a CRNA. Well, to be a CRNA, you're going to have certain kinds of experience. So I'm going to kind of take you through that. To be a CRNA, you have to have usually ER and or ICU experience to be a CRNA. So if you know to be a CRNA is your end goal, you want to be a certified registered nurse anesthetist, CRNA, end goal, you need to start off working in like, some people start in med surg and then go over to ER and then ICU and then, you know, from there, or some people just go into ER, ICU, some people just go to ICU and then go back to ER. As long as you're going that route, that track, that will take you to where you need to go to get to be a CRNA. Now, with that being said, you need to do what you do that makes you happy in nursing. So for me, it was OB. I knew off jump that I wanted to be an OB nurse. I knew that when I was in nursing school. So everything I've done has been OB related. So for me, after nursing school, I went straight into OB. I've been there the entire almost 17 years as a nurse in OB. And that's what I specialized in. So once you come out of school, you'll specialize in something. You'll go to an area. So maybe you do OR. Well, that's what your specialty is in. That's what your specialty is in. If you do ER, that's what your specialty is in. If you do med surg, that's it's a specialty within itself. People don't think it's a specialty, but it's its own specialty because it's med surg. So whatever you do, you'll go into your own specialty. So because I'm specialized in OB, that simply means that I'm an OB/GYN, well baby nurse in my situation. That also means that I'm not an ICU nurse. I'm not an ER nurse. I'm not a med surg nurse. I'm not any of those other kind of nurses because I'm an OB nurse. I specialized in OB. So now I'm ready to pursue my master's degree. For me, your master's degree usually piggybacks off of your specialty, meaning that you have to have recent experience in whatever you're trying to pursue in order to go into the master's program of that. So, for instance, if I wanted to be a midwife, which I didn't, but if I wanted to be a midwife, then I would need to have OB as my background already, technically. If I wanted to be a let's say a FNP, so if you're a med surg nurse, ICU nurse, ER nurse, you can go be a FNP because you have the background, you have the foundation for that already. Me, I don't want to be a FNP. I don't want to be a midwife or anything like that. Now, if you go into administration, which is another master's program, if you go into administration, then you will, your whatever you take as a nurse will be your foundation for that. But certain specialties have to go into certain specialties. So I cannot go into women's health at the master's level technically without having some experience with OB or women's health at the baccalaureate level. It builds. So I have my master's in my actual master's is in nursing education. I actually teach. But what do you think I teach? I teach what I do. I teach OB. So I don't have a master's in OB. I have a master's in nursing education teaching what my background or my specialty happens to be, which is OB in this case. Now, as a OB nurse or as a nurse in general, I can teach health assessment. I can teach fundamentals. I could teach, intro to nursing. All nurses can teach that once they have graduated. But we have specialties, and my specialty is OB. So therefore, I teach OB in my master's. My master's is in nursing education. My master's is not in women's health. So make sure you understand the difference. My master's is in nursing education. You can have a master's in nursing education, case management. You can be a nurse practitioner of some sort, any sort. You can be go into informatics. You can go into administration. You can be a clinical nurse specialist. You can be different things. So you need to go ahead and do your research to see which one of those you want to do. Now, once I finish that program, then I decided I want to be doctorally prepared. The doctorally prepared is not a women's health track, at least not where I went. There's not a women's health track that I can think of that makes you doctorally prepared. So there's nothing else that I needed to do for the women's health component, but continue to work in women's health as I've been doing. Now, my DMP is in executive leadership. So that just simply means that I want to be, or maybe one day want to be at a executive level in maybe nursing or in academia or in some level of leadership, an executive of some sort, a CNO, CEO, COO. You can be different things. Okay. CNO is a chief nursing officer, something along those lines. So that's an executive position. Or maybe I want to be the provost at a university, or I want to be the dean of nursing, or director of nursing, or whatever it happens to be. I could do that with my doctorate in executive leadership. But in order to even get there, I need to have faculty experience, which is what I'm doing right now. So I want to help you understand that there is not a separate licensure as a bachelor's degree prepared nurse for OB. You just specialize and go to where you want to go. Then when you go into your master's, depending on what you get your master's in, there may be a licensure for that. And if there is a licensure for that, then you have to go take that exam, that prospective exam, if that makes sense for you. As a nurse educator, I don't need any other license other than my registered nurse license. That's all I have to have. I don't have to have anything else but my registered nurse license, because I don't have to have a license to go teach. That my credentials as a registered nurse is all they need for me to know that I can teach nursing education. My transcripts show the classes that I take, and me saying that I work in OB and showing proof that I work in OB is why I'm able to teach that in my where I work at. So I teach OB, I teach those things. So I kind of want to dispel some things about how you get to the next step. You have to definitely systematically take your classes and know where you really want to go. So if you're doing med surg right now as a new nurse, med surg is what you want to do. You don't really know what you want to do after that. Then more than likely you need to kind of research. Do I want to be an educator? Do I want to be a FNP or some type of nurse practitioner? Do I want to be, do I want to go into informatics? Do I like informatics and computers and programs and all that other stuff, which I don't like? Do I want to be an administrator, more into management type thing? Do you want to do that? Do you want to be a clinical nurse specialist? What do you really want to do? You need to kind of figure that out and see how your current steps, your current job is going to take you to where you need to go. So if your current job does not take you to where you need to go, then you need to be trying to move into the position that will try to gear you to what you want to do. So like, let's say for instance, right now I say, you know what? I want to be a CRNA. So if I want to be a CRNA, I need, like I told you, ICU and ER experience typically. If I don't have any of that experience, what do I need to do right now? I need to go get a job and work ICU. And then once I go get the ICU experience, and a lot of them require, I want to say 2 to 3 years, depending on the school that you pick, then I can go at that point in time and apply to go to CRNA school once I have the experience. There may be some more specific criteria based on the school that you pick, and you'd have to research that and find that out. But like if I wanted to do something else, I actually could. All I need to do is go back to school to do it. A lot of things don't, once you specialize in something, a lot of things don't just transfer over. You need to work in a lot of different areas in order for that to just kind of transfer over like that. So there's nurses out here who've done ER before. They did case management before. They did peds before. They did mental health before. And if you did all those different kinds of nursing, then you have more of an avenue or a way to move how you want to move versus someone like me who specialized in OB and has stayed there. And I'm happy that I stayed there. I have no regrets. But that's just me and how it worked out for me. So again, I want to make sure I'm helping you understand that in order to move to the next level, you have to have experience at a certain level first. You have to have the bachelor's degree first. You specialize after that. After you specialize in whatever area it happens to be, you need to look into the master's program and see what fits. What do you want to do that fits with your current work area specialty? What do you want to do that fits with your current work specialty? If what you want to do does not fit, you need to change your specialty to something else. So if you're currently in OB, but you think you want to be a CRNA, then you need to go be transferring over into ER, ICU, and get that experience. Once you get, usually ICU, once you get that experience, then you can kind of move up your ladder like that. So you need to be, again, mindful of how this whole thing works so that you'll know how to better navigate this journey for you and know how you need to align your classes, align your money, align your programs, do your research so you'll know which is the best option for you. So I know it's probably a little confusing. If you still have questions, definitely comment those below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely comment those below. Follow me on IG if you so choose. And until the next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.